Now, I can already tell, based on the title of this video, some of you might be thinking, wow, you're a dumbass. How did you manage that? And quite honestly, that's exactly what my parents would be saying if they knew about this. Well, assuming they see this video, I assume they are going to find out pretty quickly, so sorry, Mom and Dad. But yes, as you can tell by the name of the video, I managed to get my ass kicked out of fucking summer school my freshman year. Well, I should say just after my freshman year. So, let's just get right into this. Now, as I'm sure some of you could probably tell by the videos I've posted prior to this and the videos I'm going to post in the future, I'm not the best kid, and definitely was not the best student when I was in school. Now, the reason I say this is because, well, you don't, you're definitely not a good student if you end up in summer school. Now, me and my brother were not good students. We would skip consistently, we'd not hand in assignments, and even when we did, we'd get horrible grades. Now, somehow I managed to scrape by in most of my classes, all of that being except for earth science and English. So what they wanted me to do is, instead of just having me retake it the next year, they gave me the option to go to summer school. Me and my brother said no. Then our parents immediately called after we made that decision and said, never mind, we changed our minds. We didn't change our minds. Well, they changed them for us. Anyway, so we ended up going the first day, nothing really spectacular. For the first few days, it was all just, we'd show up, do our work. It was fine. I was almost done with the first course of completing my. Okay, I should explain how they had us. They had us, take these online classes, and we'd get the credit through there after we complete 6 units of a course. Then we'd have the credit. So we completed. Well, I completed 5 of the 6, and I was on the final test for the 6th one. Now I got pissed because they have for the start of the unit they make you take not a placement test, a review, I guess, is the best way to explain it. And if you got an 80 on this review, you just go straight to the final exam. So I got a 72. 8 points away. If I got 1 more or 2 more questions right, I would have just gone straight to the final exam. Then I would have been on the final exam. So out of joking rage, like just out of being so annoyed, I went to the email. I went to our emails on our Chromebooks, and I typed out a long ass paragraph as a joke. I say as a joke. I meant every word, but still as a joke. Basically calling the people who created the schooling program a bunch of dickheads, dumbasses, cucks, all that shit. I told the one chick who ran the program, like who ran the specific class I was working on for the program, I told her that she's a fat cow and probably doesn't get pipe, which is probably accurate. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't feel too bad about the things I said. I stand by them. Doesn't mean they were right. But anyway, I showed it to one of my friends. I had no intention of sending it, and so I showed it to one of my friends, and it was all ready to go. If you hit the send button, it was done. I showed it to him. He starts laughing his ass off. He clicks the send button on purpose, and he said, "Okay, it's fine. Just hit the undo button." I go to hit the undo button. I fail. Now, I just gave up at that point. I'm sure there was something I could have done, but I didn't do it. So I go up to my teacher. I'm like, "Hey, I'm probably about to get kicked out of school." She's like, "What?" We'll call this teacher Miss Fish. Miss Fish was relatively chill, and she definitely didn't care about something like this. This wasn't something she was going to throw a fit over. But I figured the principal might, or the teacher who ran the program. And so, anyway, the way they did it was the online school wasn't actually connected to our school. It was just a program you can get online to complete it. And they had us doing that. So the person I sent it to had nothing to do with our school. So I told my teacher, but they had a teacher watching us to make sure we actually, didn't cheat. And so I showed it to her, told her about it, and she basically told me, "Yeah, you're fucked." Not her exact words, but she did say you're fucked. She also went on a rant before that, but still. What she did was, she called up the principal of our school, and she told me, explain the situation, talk to him about it, maybe I can fix it. And so I was like, you know what, might as well. So I ended up talking to the principal, Spent a good fucking 30 minutes in his office. He was pissed too. He was so mad. He had to come in on his day off just to come yell at me for sending a bad email to a teacher. So he had fucking yelled at me basically for 10 minutes after I explained this whole situation. And he's like, look, pack your things. You gotta go. Again, not exact words, paraphrase, but it's what he meant. He basically told me, look, you're not going to be able to continue the program. You just gotta go. Now, something that I did bring up at the beginning of this video. My parents didn't know. My brother, the best brother he could have been in that situation, just said, look, I think it's better if my mom hears it from me or him, so I'm going to make sure he tells my mom. Don't worry about it. So they didn't end up calling because they figured my brother was going to make me tell my mom. And lo and behold, we get in the car, he drives us home, he's like, look, from now on, you'll just come help me in the morning with school, because my brother's never been, it's accurate, my brother's never been good at school. I can do work, I just choose not to. So he told me, look, you come in, help me in the morning, you can go hang out with your friends for the rest of the time that I'm there, and then we leave, as long as you meet me here at the right time. And I'm like, you know what, that sounds like a plan. So he drove me back home, we just hung out for the rest of the day, and my parents never found out. You know, like, even then when we went back for my sophomore year, they didn't do a single thing. Like, never. Like, they never told my parents, they never brought it up to my parents. It was great. So, overall, if there's a moral to this story, it's, you know, don't be a dumbass. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Don't be a dumbass like me, because if I had like said any like really horrible things, not only would I have gotten kicked out of school, probably for indefinitely, but I would have probably also gotten in more trouble with just my parents, all that. But luckily, I had a brother who had my back through thick and thin, at least for that moment. But anyway, yeah, it's been your boy Vertex. I'll see you in the next one.